Ooh. Let me get this going. Totally forgot. Don't know where I am tonight. No, I'm kidding. Collective, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to be looking at the weekly forecast. It is our last, no, we're starting a new season. I went back a week. We're starting Taurus season this week. We're going to look at the energy surrounding the upcoming week via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. As I said, we're moving into a new season. Hey, happy Sunday. So good to see you, Chopboard Memories. It's good to see you. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you always. I hope you're doing well. I'm hoping that the energy, the momentum is going to continue. It looks like it as I was going through the astrology. Taurus season is earth energy, so it brings a little bit more, not heaviness, but it's just, it takes its time, right? Earth energy is not fast moving, and we've kind of been moving through that dynamic anyway. It's been a lesson, but Aries season did pick up in the momentum, especially over this past week or so. And we are continuing to see that. We're moving into Taurus season tomorrow. We're also going to have Venus and Uranus will finally move into Gemini. So Uranus moving into Gemini is also going to cater towards that activity, especially in places that we're getting met with a lot of blocks, a lot of obstacles, or situations we can't find a harmonious balance, right? Nothing seems to work, no matter the adjustments we try to make, how we try to switch it up. It just isn't happening. It isn't moving. And I think those things are also being highlighted right now. And what will help with that Uranus going into Gemini is it's going to present different options, different solutions, where in the past while we've basically had to work with what's in front of us, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to turn this heater off too. Sorry. I don't know. I was I was actually waiting, and then I come not prepared. So I apologize. Hopefully that will quiet down some of the background noise. I had my heater on. It was actually snowing earlier. I feel like the weather cannot figure out what to do. And that is kind of like part of what the energy is as well that I'm picking up. There's a lot of things going on. There is movement happening, but we're not 100% certain where it's going to land us. As I was looking at the astrology for the week, I think it starts off a little bit better, and then it looks like midweek there's some intensity, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of movement, both good and bad. And then we're ending it. It's not on a bad note, like a lot of the activity diffuses, but it depends on what happens, what our outlook is. We've been getting that message a little bit lately, like even if stuff is popping up either from the past or an old feeling, emotion, you get triggered, whatever, even if that stuff comes up, try not to judge it too harshly. It's there more for healing, right? Like the ability to kind of look at it and say like, okay, this sucks. I might not like the fact that this is happening in this moment in time, but it's there to help us bring in a little bit more love, a little more awareness to self, maybe make some readjustments so we can better honor self. And with that in mind, Taurus season, earth energy, it is all about balance, or not, maybe not as balance as much, but it's about stability 100%. It rules the second house of money, possessions. So it's a really good time to try to make some money, honey, or especially as it relates to our stability, doing some budgeting, right? Reworking your budget so you're maximizing your money, that kind of thing, or taking up a side hustle, or, whatever it means to you. Abundance is not just financial. We all know that here at this channel. I just want to drive home that point. It's always nice to have some money in your pocket, right? But there's so much abundance all around us. And I feel like that is also a lesson that's coming up. Why things might feel like they're moving so stinking slow. It is so we can stop and smell the roses. It is so it's not like chasing to get to the next thing and then we miss all the beauty that was along the road, along the path, that type of vibe. So we'll dive a little deeper into the astrology, into the cards. I'm going to start off with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention as well, especially if you have come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over, be open to receive. It really is a great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you are looking for more of that realignment of self, your mind, body, soul. I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Like I talk about all the time on this channel, when we're coming from a space of balance, harmony, knowing ourselves, that's where we tap into our happiness, our fulfillment, where we're able to actually manifest a life we desire, that we feel, just excited about. We all deserve that. And I would love to help support you in that in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, with that, let's get into it. All right. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so we may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Mama Love. That felt really good. Like much needed. I don't know. I don't know if you're feeling like you need a little bit of balancing in your energy, or you're actually just being really proactive about how much energy you're expending. Because I was hearing like it's this value of being ready to go, like you're ready to take on whatever is in front of you. But there are these moments where not a lot is happening. And so I was seeing you like take a breath of air, right? Just kind of finding that peace, finding that stillness, and peace in the way that you're also at peace within your heart, right? What I love about earth energy is it does bring in that stability that I think we really need. We're an overstimulated world. There's a lot going on nowadays, blah, 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 that whole nugget. And so earth energy just helps us to ground. It helps us to restore. We can do this as well via taking a walk outside, walking outside in the grass barefoot. It's so nourishing. You can also eat like root vegetables. Anything that grows beneath the earth is going to also help ground and stabilize you. Yeah, and of course, it makes a lot of sense because the first card we get is this monkey card, and it reminds me the monkey mind, right? Like, and I think this is part of the anticipation I was picking up in the very beginning. Like, you're so ready to go, you're so ready to be a part of the next thing. But when there is a little bit of dead space or whatever, or you feel like you've run out of activities to do, something to accomplish, to achieve, then you get left with your own devices, And I think this is that part of you, and maybe this is just for your own betterment of just finding those places that you can have peace throughout the day, that you can take a moment to quiet your mind, close your eyes, take some deep breaths, do some pranayam. Ayurveda, I love essential oils. Ayurveda is a huge proponent of essential oils, especially as it relates to our healing. You can always like take one of your favorite essential oils, put it in a little tissue, use that to breathe in and out, which is you're going to ingest some of the healing properties as well. Things like that, things that are just kind of calming to our spirit, or you're giving yourself space, more space in areas where life might feel really chaotic. Maybe you add a little extra time onto your schedule for yourself so you can actually devote necessary energy to yourself so that you can maintain or withstand whatever this is, whatever is kind of pulling your mind in all different directions. We have it, Ayurveda, what I was saying is we all get that, right? Like our mind can go crazy at times. And modern day Ayurveda looks at it like we're very Vata dominant. Vata in Ayurveda is the value of transportation and movement. So if we're kind of like always overstimulated, always up and running, always doing the next thing, that is direct effect upon our physiology. We all know that stress, right? Stress is the enemy. And I feel like part of long-winded, but what I'm hearing is it's like you're learning how to de-stress or how to give yourself a little bit more space, or that's what you're going to be encouraged to do this week, because the stress ends up being a huge part of the energy drain, and maybe even unnecessary energy drain. Not saying it like you should do better. It's not about that. It's about learning yourself, learning how things affect you, and then how you can combat navigate them so that you're not getting pulled down, so that you're keeping your sun shining bright, which I like. And it looks like you are getting that beginning of the week. Let's see how it fares out. Okay, a gift is coming in midweek. Good things can also bring about anxiety, especially if they're new, especially if they're unknown. We've been getting a lot of positive energy towards forward movement. Okay. We'll look and see what this gift is specifically. But I am seeing that your mental faculties are going to be very important this week. Try to get enough rest, go to sleep on time, wake up on time, nurture your body throughout the day. Try to get in some breathing practices if you can. That also, it not only helps like calm our mind, it's also very good for our cognitive functioning. It unifies the left and the right hemisphere, so we're like functioning at full capacity. In the blocked energy is the flow. Okay, so things feel a little bit rigid. And I was even kind of picking that up with this like stop start energy, where it's almost like maybe even like being in the eye of the storm. There's a lot going on around you, but you might even feel very still in your own life. And yes, I do think you're looking for things to open up. You're looking for things to flow. I think places where it is not, or you keep hitting dead ends, roadblocks, obstacles, etc., that might be the thing that's getting the best of your mind. I'm going to start by clarifying what this gift is midweek, because that is where, I would say it's like the transits midweek are 50-50, half good, half bad, So, and if anything, we are starting the week shining bright, so to speak. There is this energy of like feeling good. The places that we don't feel good, it really is more ego based, and we're going to be able to see through that pretty easily. It's places where things are kind of changing and we have to do things a little bit different, change up our routine, change up our habits. better our, and it's more in betterment of self. So that's where we're seeing the resistance. But really, I think that there's a lot more inspiration beginning of the week to continue to press forward in whatever way for you. Okay. So we'll see who and what this is interesting though, but maybe things are getting cleared out of the way. And in order for you to, like, I feel like things are getting cleared out of the way, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into this. I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself, but things are getting cleared out of the way, and it does look like it's a beneficial thing. But I think that there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of chaos that comes with this, because we're seeing the 5 of Arrows, which is the 5 of Swords. It's really interesting in this deck. It signifies frustration. So frustration when things aren't going. But I don't think this is directly you. I'm going to set this energy off to the side, and then we'll start pulling. Sorry, I was just curious about it. Because I don't think it feels like, not bittersweet, but this is something that's coming in for you that's feeling a little bit more, like it's a blessing in disguise type energy. Maybe even right off the bat, it's not going to feel 100% like that. And that's also where this monkey mind is getting in your way. Like, I'm seeing that good things are happening. There's a lot of positive evolution that's requiring you to step into that, like, I want to say new vibration, but whatever you've been kind of working on, cultivating within yourself, mastering within yourself. It's like you're actually stepping in that power now. Spirit is delivering you situations that are helping you act out of a new vibration, if that makes sense. And it's one that does have more wisdom and integrity along with it. So that does mean that we're not necessarily going back to the knee-jerk reactions. We're seeing a little bit of tension in that department as well, but not until the end of the week, where it's like the North Node is in conjunction with the moon, or the South Node is, South Node and the moon. And that's basically like, I don't want to work at it. I just want to like go back into my comfort, safe space and not be bothered type vibe. But wisdom is telling you otherwise. So let's see how this plays out. Deborah loves to chat. Okay. So sunshine, beginning of the week. Okay, so we have the Great Awakener, the Great Bear, which is Judgment in this deck. Wake Up Call. The Lovers are in the blocked energy. Partnership, relationship. We have the 5 of Stones. This is the 5 of Pentacles. Someone feeling left out. A relationship is transitioning. 9 of Cups. I love this. Relationships in general are transitioning. And I feel like I'm seeing, like, yes, we kind of see this pop up a lot, that something is being tested, but I also see this as like something new is coming in. It might even feel like some of the choices, decisions that you've had to make without knowing how things are going to play out feel a little bit unfair, or there's hesitancy as if you are making the right decision. Maybe it's even taken a long time for this 9 of Cups to come in. But we've been seeing it a lot come up in our readings, not just 9 of Cups, but that energy of like things are moving in a really good direction. You're shining bright. I think you're also understanding that there are some sacrifices or adjustments that come with whatever you're doing, wherever you're headed. Like, it's not all sunshines and rainbows, right? And the Great Bear in this deck reminds us that, you know, you can go into the secret passageway if you want. You have the strength, you have the courage to move through something that might be unknown, that might not have a lot of clarity around it. But you also have strength of self. even if it's not manifesting in partnerships and relationships. And beginning of the week, it looks like you are a little bit more self-reliant. That might feel not so good with this Five of Pentacles, or it's either like when you're ready to hang out with people or you're ready to ready to communicate, there might not be anybody around. Again, we're in Earth season, so that does kind of provide a little bit more of a hermit component to it. Not that everyone is going to be not talking, but it does have this element of, like I said, there's just like a lot of stability. And there is a heaviness that comes with the energy of moving a little bit slower. So, like I said, it might be as simple as like when you're ready to connect and communicate with people, no one's really around. But there's other things that are coming in as a result of this. And I feel like this is actually directly related to whatever this gift energy is. Let's see if this clarify this sunshine for the collective. Working to find positivity amidst some of the relationship challenges, 100%. With this Six of Stones, exploitation, you could feel like someone exploited you. Your kindness, your goodness, someone took advantage. This is a really interesting card in this deck because usually Six of Pentacles is all about balance, but it can also be someone that really likes to take advantage of other people, right? Like they like to be the person on top. They like to be the one like giving the pentacles, so to speak. And in this deck, it is when resources, however that means to you, get exploited. And I feel like this might have come about in your relationships or in certain relationships that you did value. I feel like you are finding your light again with this sunshine this week. You might feel a little exhausted though at the same time. Family might also be playing a role into this with the ancestor. Like, I don't know. I don't know if something's not necessarily leaving you alone. Let's see. We'll clarify. Excuse me. Wait. Okay, Seven of Bows, Five of Arrows. Oh, that was that was that was that little cluster of cards that I pulled earlier. Very interesting. Someone's frustrated. They're frustrated that like they're not hitting the mark, or maybe that you are changing how you're doing things. Like you're not necessarily following order, following the rules anymore. And I think this has been part of the disconnect between you guys, whomever, whatever this dynamic is for you. I think that it's actually moving to a new phase as well. Like the phase of progression is what I'm hearing, right? Like it's not just a hypothetical, maybe I'm going to do this or maybe I'm going to do that. It's actually happening. Like the ball is rolling, momentum is picking up. And something has put up some boundaries, 100%. But I feel like they almost end up kicking themselves in the foot because of whatever boundaries they're putting in place. And you look like, even if, like I said, you might hit a point where you're spending a lot of time alone, or like you're not getting the connection that you need throughout the week within your relationships. I think there is a healing component that's coming through. Like it is kind of forcing you to use your internal resources, internal strength. It might stir up some anxiety, so just be mindful of that. The best thing you can do for yourself when it comes to any type of vata imbalance like anxiety is having a regular schedule, having a regular routine, doing the same things at the same time every day, because then your body knows what to expect. And it's something that really helps settle the physiology, the nervous system. Three of Stones, getting creative. Three of Pentacles. Someone's getting creative because, again, they're not getting it's like a response. They're not getting the response they want from you. They're not getting the interaction, engagement that they want from you. But you're ready. Like, I think beginning of the week, you feel really prepared, whatever comes your way. You've done a certain level of work, or you're just feeling good or solid within self, that things, you're not going to let things infiltrate you so much. Even if someone, something is trying to do that, there might be a little bit of that beginning of the week, but I don't even see you paying attention, because it's almost like, okay, well, if this person, this situation isn't going to do this, then, I got to get creative with what my resources are, tap into like whatever that looks like for you. That creative potential, bringing up new ideas, bringing new people, new perspectives into the equation. And then it feels like something hits, something sticks, which is really nice. But I feel like it's not necessarily what other people want. And we'll see what this actually means. What does that mean? So let's move on to midweek, what this gift is. Clarity, sight, vision, the 5 of vessels, ecstasy, 5 of cups in the original deck. And that doesn't want to come out. There, oh my gosh, right? That has come up for us 3 times. 5 of arrows in the blocked energy. You're taking something and you're turning it, something not so good, and you're turning it into something really good for yourself. And it's interesting because 5 of cups is an energy of disappointment. It's an energy of being really bummed out how things are going, continuing to focus on the past, what should have been. But in this deck, it's really interesting with this ecstasy component. And I feel like I'm hearing that no matter what, you're turning it into something good. Because there's something around some resistance that keeps popping up in our readings in general. The world, closing out cycles. Some of that, like some of the closure that is happening this week might be causing a lot of stress. But you're not letting people or situations play with you. You're continuing to stay plugged into like the things that are working, the things that are building and growing, even if it's not 100% what you wanted, what you thought it would look like. It's catering towards your own victory, towards your abundance. 6 of bows, 6 of wands in the original tarot. And the world isn't just about cycle completion, excuse me. It's about like everything coming together in its right place in the right time. And I'm seeing that like you feel really positive about that beginning of the week. Midweek, it gets a little bit more dicey. And maybe because you are feeling some of the resistance, some of the backlash. We have tension with the sun and moon, also tension with the sun and moon and Pluto. So the resistance to change. We're seeing that tension with Jupiter pop up again. Resistance to our abundance, how that is playing out, what that is actually looking like. And there's tension with the fortune point as well as the ascendant. So that really talks about like it is ego based because the ascendant is kind of how we put ourselves out there. So I'm seeing this energy of like putting yourself out there and thinking certain collaborations, connections are going to work, certain choices you're making to kind of like whether it's working together in harmony, finding balance for everybody involved, whatever that is, and that can manifest in a lot of different ways. It looks like you're trying to do that. You see some of the limitations with whomever, whatever you're dealing with. But like I was saying, the Great Bear isn't necessarily afraid to go down that road. It's like a marking point. The Judgment card is basically like, okay, this is the reality of what it is. You can choose to continue on, or maybe it's just not meant for you, that type of vibe. And I don't see you getting very scared at the things that are popping up. Like I've been saying, it might cause some anxiety, which might feel a little bit destabilizing, but you're empowering yourself your way through it. You're dancing. What I keep hearing, I'm not going to say because it's not the right way to say it, but it's like, just you have that vibe of no matter what's going on, you're going to transition it into something good, into something powerful, into something that, like, it not only shakes you out of the energy of the past, but it keeps you focused. It keeps you forward moving. And I feel like that is where part of the gift is, because whomever, whatever this energy is with the 5 of arrows, the frustration, they're not getting what they want. And this story has come up a lot for us lately. And it's like, in some ways you can't avoid it. In some ways it's just always there or whatever, and you're doing the best that you can to navigate according to how the energy presents itself. But you are a little bit, tied, like there's restriction. That's what I'm picking up. But even though there is restriction, it's not necessarily stopping you from moving forward. It's not stopping you from moving forward. You're continuing to try. I know, sorry, that was so anticlimactic. It's not even trying. Like, I don't know. I feel like whatever's coming your way, you keep coming out on top. That's what it looks like. But it is requiring a lot of balance. The Mirror is the Hangman. So when we're forced to see things that might feel a little uncomfortable, but also, like I said, it helps with that reality check. And Ayurveda actually is huge into that. Like, we have to see things clearly in order to be of sound mind, right? Like, it is so important for our mind, our mental, emotional well-being, is having the right perception. And right perception is actually connected to our ability to fulfill our desires in our life. And so, unfortunately, something is resisting, but you're using it as a tool, as a force to overcome, to continue to empower yourself. Yes, I think it is bringing new revelations, new understandings, maybe even switching your perception towards someone completely, like someone who might not even deserve it. Someone who, I don't know, like I feel like you are trying to give someone credit where credit is due. Again, even if they don't deserve it. 7 of Stones, 7 of Pentacles is healing in this deck. And not in a way that you have to become complacent to someone else, especially with this Knight of Stones, because this is an individual, a situation that's going to take a long time to unfold. You might be seeing pieces of the healing, like as you are continuing to push forward in a really unaffected way. Like, and I'm talking about in your reaction. Like, you might feel affected, right? Your emotions might feel a little bit jostled. We still have a lot of positive energy midweek with the moon. The tension is just more around the change and the healing, So, and again, that's where this is coming up. So places where we might be resistant, or we're finding a lot of resistance in the environment around us, we're going to be positioned in a way where we have to find a little bit more flexibility or need to take a different approach. And again, it's nothing set in stone, because whatever this is isn't wrapping up this week. It feels like there's a lot more to unfold, and it almost feels like a little bitty baby step. That's what I keep picking up. That's what the gift is. It might even not feel like a gift. Sorry, not to be a Debbie Downer, but it might not even feel like a gift, but it is. Going back to what I was saying earlier, right? Blessing in disguise. And I think we have enough support in the astrology that is going to make us hopeful. And there's enough that's changing, right? There's enough that's changing, whether it is in the way that you're able to approach the conversation, the dynamic. There's going to be enough evidence to show that something is healing. And in a way that it's almost like you can't negate it. Like you have to give a person, a situation, credit where credit is due. Again, not that you have to be subservient or make it right all of the wrongs. It's not about that. It's not about justification or appeasing or catering to someone, pandering someone's ego. It's about like what you're holding on to. And I feel like that message came up maybe last week of like, as we're transitioning, as we're moving forward, making sure that you are making peace with the past. And that's part of where this monkey mind comes into play. I've been talking a lot about that idea of splitting in psychology when we make something all good or all bad, and that it can be a little bit of dangerous territory. And maybe there's some of that going on here, right? Because there has been a lot of frustration in this situation in a way that, like, whether it's someone resisting or refusing, or it's just a simple, like you're throwing ideas, options on the table and nothing quite sticks. It's been frustrating, regardless, for everybody involved, I think. Maybe there are people who stir the pot a little bit more than others, but maybe you already have that awareness, and maybe it's about not letting that affect you so much, even if you do have to still engage with the pot stirs, not let them provoke the anxiety or the fear or the stress of perfection, doing everything right, whatever umbrella that falls under. Because with Uranus and Venus moving into Gemini, it's like I said, it's opening up other opportunities. And so in the places that we don't really love things that are happening, it can be easy to have that grass is greener on the other side perspective. We want to be really mindful around that. There is resistance, especially as it relates to the North Node, like our healing and our growth. So temper yourself and even the situations around you. You already know who and what you're dealing with. I don't think this is like someone out of left field that, I think this is already something that's you're aware of. And I think what's happening is it's helping you understand the dynamic in a more holistic way. And again, so end of the week, it's about using your wisdom, using like the knowledge, the lessons, not even lessons, but it's just like the knowledge that you've gained, what you've picked up around someone or a situation. Because like I said, we're having a little bit more tension end of the week, or not as much support. Like it's not as easy to turn a blind eye to the annoying things, right? The annoying things that we wish, like we're getting back into this mode of a little bit of like, poor me, or something is. Or maybe you're not allowing that. But again, it feels like you have to kind of disconnect on some level throughout the week. Like whatever you're doing, it's a stop-start energy. And maybe it's because you have to stop whatever you're doing so you can handle other things, other people, other situations, even things that you already feel like you're over and done with. Okay, there's our 7 of stones again, our healing. Slowing down a little bit. Again, that message of coming up has been coming up. 7 of Pentacles is when we are waiting for the fruit on the tree to ripen, and we want to pick it at the ideal time. And it might be that you have to be softer with someone than you otherwise would be. Like maybe giving someone a little bit more grace and understanding. Not that, again, you're being a doormat, but I'm hearing it as being the better person, like giving someone the benefit, like I was saying, where it is due. And again, not in the way that it affects your own boundaries or what you deserve. But in a way, it keeps your hands clean. That's what I keep seeing. It keeps your hands clean because I don't know, someone, something, there's a lot of back and forth energy, and like they can't really get their own mind right about what they think, what they feel, what they think about you. There's a lot of back and forth, stop, start. I hate you, I love you, get away from me, come back. It's a lot of that. Um, Again, where this kind of monkey mind plays that part. Interesting. End of the week, not taking things too personally, not getting caught up in someone else's drama, someone else's toxicity, because it does end up coming out again, And I feel like this is a lot of justification for bad behavior, maybe even like wanting a hall pass, someone wanting a hall pass. I think you're not, again, like it just looks like whatever drama something's trying to stir around you, you're not really getting involved. But it's enough where it is kind of messing with your flow. Or you feel like that stop start energy, like you're not getting the right amount of momentum progression that you would like to see. And I think when I'm looking at your energy versus theirs, it's a lot about seeing the bigger picture. Don't let it get you down, right? Let your light continue to shine, continue to be that best version of yourself, whatever that looks like. And when people start to infiltrate, then you can have your boundaries go up and say, no, I actually need my time and my space. And I think you're getting that, but I think someone or something doesn't really know what to do. It's almost like you're handling things very wisely in a healthful way, and either someone's just completely not used to that. Maybe they're used to, dysfunctional dynamics, etc. That's what they're expecting, because there is this aggravation that's also happening in the background. Like they want you to feel bad for them, and then they're pissed off, and then they're fighting, and then they're saying, I'm sorry. And, it just has a lot of that to it. But I think in the midst of it, what I will say is, like, again, you're not letting it get you down. It might not be the most fun energy this week, and there might be more of a desire to kind of, like I said, end of the week to revert back to bad patterns, maybe calling them out, maybe just getting really annoyed and frustrated and operating out of that instead of finding your own peace, right? Someone wants you to do it for them and wants you to do it for them first. Like they should come first and then you should spend time on you, that kind of energy. But I think it's all about just like giving what you can, letting it be, and letting like the toxic part of it not shake you. And I feel like you're actually, for as much as what's going on around you, like I was saying, I think that's a really good analogy, like being in the eye of the storm. It's all happening around you. It's not happening within you. It's not happening to you. It's happening, like I said. Okay, so the skunk and the magnolia is protection. And I think that that's part of the wisdom, part of the gift that's coming through all this It might not be fun to navigate these dynamics, some of these dynamics, especially if you are dealing with a push and pull energy or an energy that they can't really make up their mind. It does get a little stanky with that skunk. But it's a way, well, I'm hearing number one, it's a way for them to protect themselves. Again, this can be something that's just very disconnected from their own wants, their own needs. And the way that you're operating the way that you're operating is actually challenging them. And I feel like it's challenging them in a way where they don't know what else to do but self protect. But sometimes that can come out a little bit funky, And that's also for your protection as well. Like maybe let someone have their little temper tantrum and then you actually get some space and time for yourself. Imagine that. you know. The eel and the iris is safety. So there is a lot of, and I'm hearing this as there's a lot of protective components, a lot of protective energy. Also, beginning of the week, we're having a lot of earth element in the collective, which maybe seems to make sense. But I'm hearing that as even like the fortress that you are building for yourself, the boundaries that you are setting for yourself. Certain things might feel unfair, or you're questioning why, or like you don't understand why someone can't get it together, or why they keep doing X, Y, and Z. But a lot of that turn off or whatever's kind of pushing you away from this situation, it is in protection for yourself, in safety and protection for yourself. And I love this. We're ending with the frog and the lotus, which is metamorphosis. So powerful. The number is 6. So it's about moving forward, using the mucky stuff to help empower you, to help you grow and strengthen and overcome. And even if some of that muck isn't completely gone, and it doesn't even have to be the same person, right? Like sometimes it's just as simple as like the patterns that we've learned over the course of our life. And as we're trying to change those patterns, we become acutely aware of them, how they play out in our day to day, in all of our relationships. And when we're trying to change them, it is a balancing act. It's not easy at all. And things can pop up at any time in any way. Some of it might be things that are ours that we have to look at, and some of it might be not ours, not our responsibility. And I feel like you're finding a really good balance within that this week. I think it's even if you're not looking at some of the stuff that's happening from that lens of like, oh, I got to protect myself or keep myself safe. I feel like inadvertently that's the energy that is coming towards you. And even if, like I said, even if some of the stuff is a little bit foul or toxic or not really what you want to be dealing with, it's stuff that's actually helping transition forward. And it's strengthening you and it's empowering you in the process. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of clarity around that. Um, again, not like the most fun way to gain in clarity, but things that help you release. Like that's what I'm hearing. It's like giving you information, it's filling in the gaps. And then when you get that, it's kind of just like, okay, well, maybe I can let this go, or maybe I can be done over with this energy so I can move forward, so I can find things that are in better alignment with myself. So I really hope this energy helped. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I super appreciate you. I hope that you found messages that resonated for you here. If you did, I would love to hear. I love to hear how it resonates, or just connect, sharing a little love, little TLC. Definitely drop comments below. I really appreciate all the love, all the support that you bring to the community. Know that it blesses my heart so much. And yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoy your week. I will be live on Thursday morning, bright and early. So stay tuned. I will post in the community board as well. But thank you so much for all you bring my way, all the blessings, all the love, all the support. Know that I'm sending that love and blessing and support back to you. Have a great evening. Thanks for joining.